Hey, here's an interesting side story from the Iowa caucus. Pete Buttigieg is a gay man, and this is known to a lot of people. And it is wholly irrelevant to me in thinking about whether I agree with Pete Buttigieg's policies. There's viral video that has been released of a voter in a rural part of Iowa on Monday night who realized after submitting her vote in the caucus for Pete Buttigieg that he is a gay man and that he has a same-sex partner, and starts asking to take her vote back. A precinct captain for Pete has a conversation with her, the video going completely viral. Take a look.
So are you saying that he has a same-sex partner?
He?
Yes.
Yes.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, he's married to him, yes.
Well, then I don't want anybody like that in the White House. So can I have my card back?
I don't know. He signed it. We could go ask.
I never knew that.
Well, so the whole point of it is, though, if he's a human being, right? Just like you and me, and should it really matter? That's what.
Well, he better read the Bible.
The Bible is raised, and actually the precinct captain does a pretty good job of dealing with that talking point by saying, listen, we weren't around when it was written, and we don't really know what the intention was, and the conversation continues.
He does, and he says that God doesn't choose a political party. Because
why does it say in the Bible that a man should marry a woman then?
Well, I totally respect your viewpoint on this. I so totally do. But I think that we were not around.
How come this has never been brought out before?
It's common knowledge.
I never heard it.
So this is important. The fact that this woman had never heard that Pete is gay, is that a sign of progress? What I mean by that is, if sexual orientation is not part of the discussion around a candidate, and it's not part of this woman's awareness, you could say that that's progress in the sense that it simply was not a big enough deal among voters that sexual orientation was playing a big role in figuring out who you want to support. Now, the thing about it is, this woman is wearing Amy Klobuchar stickers. She was probably there supporting Amy and then went to Pete after the first round or whatever the case may be. It may not really be an indication that most people aren't aware of Mayor Pete being gay or whatever. I don't know how big of a sign of anything it really is, but in my mind, if it becomes irrelevant what one's sexual orientation is in terms of whether someone would support them, it feels as though it is a step forward to some degree. Here's a little bit more of the video.
We can talk to someone if you need to talk to them about this. I don't know the rules on this or not, but I guess what I would like you to just dig deep inside and think, like, should it matter if it's a woman or if it's a man or if they're heterosexual or homosexual if you believe in what they say? That's my question.
It all just went right down the toilet, is where it all just went.
And that you have a total right to your opinion, and I am not trying to tell you to think otherwise, but we'll ask what they want us to do. But I just ask you to look inside your heart, because you sound like a Christian woman to me, and I'm a Christian woman, and my God wants me to love everybody. I do, yep. I do.
So you must not believe it then if you think it's okay for somebody to be married to a same-sex person.
No, I think we're just interpreting it different, and that's okay, because everybody gets to have their own beliefs. But what I teach my son is that love is love, and we're all human.
Really interesting stuff. There were initially some allegations that this was staged in some way. There's no evidence of that whatsoever. From what I've read, the voter did ultimately get her card back and was able to switch her vote to Elizabeth Warren from Mayor Pete on that second round. There's an interesting sort of policy question here. Is there any candidate that opposes same-sex marriage at this point? And I'm not even talking about on the Democratic side. Trump even seems fine with same-sex marriage. So, you know, is the problem support of same-sex marriage? Because the voter says the Bible talks about marriage between being between a man and a woman. Pete is married to a man and supports same-sex marriage. All the other candidates are heterosexual, but they support same-sex marriage. Donald Trump is heterosexual, but seems okay with same-sex marriage, at least to the extent that he's not made it any kind of a problem. Is the problem being gay in the eyes of this voter, or is it supporting same-sex marriage? I don't know. And then, of course, remember, the Bible says don't eat shellfish, don't wear mixed fabric clothing. I don't know how many candidates are abiding by those rules either. So a very strange and sort of interesting video. And my view on this is I don't care what anyone's sexual orientation is. I care about their political positions. Because of that, I'm not a Mayor Pete guy. But what I am curious about is, do we see it as a sign of progress that Mayor Pete's sexual orientation is unknown to a lot of people? Or do we see it as an uninformed electorate? I don't know. I open it up to you. One of our sponsors today is Vincero Watches, giving you 15% off your entire order when you go to davidpakman.com/watch. Don't pay thousands of dollars for a high quality watch that looks great, because you don't have to. All of Vincero's watches are made with high-end materials, masterfully built, and they look like something you'd spend a ton of money on. But every Vincero watch ranges from about $150 to $300. I went over to their website and picked out the Bellwether in silver and white. Really nice, elegant look. It's a chronograph style. Wore it to a gala over the weekend. And a lot of people asked me, where's the watch from? Really, really great look. Totally different. They also sent me the Altitude in matte black and red. A much more rugged view of what a watch can look like. Really like it as well as the athletic strap. It's a new year. It's a new decade. It's time to reestablish your style, add something new to your look, and a high quality watch is the perfect way to do that. You can get 15% off Vincero's entire collection when you go to davidpakman.com/watch.